Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to this forecast on medicine. And we're here to talk about what's going on for you during the Gemini season. And as it is the Gemini season, this is your birth time. The major focus right now for you is independence, rebirth, and knowing that you have the wisdom, the experience, the wherewithal to conquer all your obstacles. There is a part of you, Gemini, even if you don't know it, even if it's not conscious awareness, there's a part of you, if you trust in your instincts at this time, if you trust in your intuition, that has seen this period in your life and can conquer all obstacles. And understands the battle strategies necessary in order to conquer all obstacles. And at this time, all you have to do is trust it. All you have to do is trust it. There's a part of you that can see clearly the path ahead of you. A part of you that the sky is open. It's clear as day. You are like the dawn, the first inklings of the sun, walking through the twilight, meant to bring the morning to life, meant to bring the new day. Daybreak, you break in the new day. You step out of the darkness to bring in the new day. This is your divine purpose at this time, Gemini. And the best thing that you can do is hold on to that in your heart. See it, sense it, feel it, embrace it. This is your hero's journey. This is where you just need to know, like you know, that this is your time. This is your moment to shine. You are reborn. You are rebirthed, into this world. All eyes are upon you. And this is your time to shine. You will have many challenges during this season. Many challenges will come your way. And the nature of those challenges are somewhat beyond understanding. In fact, a lot of it is beyond understanding. And the reason that I say that is because there are a few quincunxes going on. And I have to say that there's a yod that is happening for you, especially within the second trimester, within the second period of this season. So that's the period between the 1st and the 11th of June. There's a yod happening here for you. And it's happening with Jupiter in relationship to the North Node, which talks of spiritual destiny, and Venus, which talks of love and beauty. The North Node is going to be in your second house, and it's going to be looking at the simplicities of life. And it's really going to be emphasizing pleasure and material security. Venus, who rules the second house, is going to be in your 12th house. So taking time to really purify and clear your sense of love and your sense of beauty in the world. So those aspects, if you will, Venus is in this space. She's taking a rest from the physical world. She's gone into slumber mode, and she's gone back into the dream world where she can be purified. They are both quincunxing with Jupiter. And Jupiter is like your crown chakra. And really, I mean, we're talking about in the mythologies, Jupiter represents the higher father of the gods, right? In Greek mythology is the father of the gods. But Jupiter stays in the upper worlds, right? I want to kind of bring into an awareness right now something that came through earlier that maybe might serve you at this point. The triple god aspect. You've heard of the triple goddess aspect. If you're familiar with the triple goddess aspect, the maiden, the mother, the crone. And if you're familiar with the Norns or the Fates, the spinner of the thread, the measurer of the thread, the cutter of the thread. Many of our ancestral lineages celebrated a triple aspect in some shape or form. Father Sky, for example, is a triple aspect in the Native American, because Father Sky represents Uranus, Jupiter, and the Sun. And these three represent the three heavenly bodies of Creator. I mention this because Jupiter is in opposition to the Sun at this time. So if the Sun represented the youth, Jupiter represents the father. The Sun has a lot to learn right now. You have a lot to learn right now. And it's going to be an important process. It's going to be an important piece of the process for you to learn it. If you are to really attain what is going on in the social, collective universe for you at this time. Because there are medicine wheels within medicine wheels. And Jupiter tends to look at the greater, what's going on throughout the year. Like if Uranus is, if the Sun is 12-month cycle, Jupiter is a 12-year cycle. So whereas the Sun is cycling through each sign during each month, Jupiter is cycling through the signs each year, one sign a year, whereas the Sun is doing once a month. So greater medicine wheels here, greater goals, greater things are being attained for you at this time. And part of that journey right now means for you to learn something new, means for you to really receive the world right now. Receive the world. Allow yourself to receive the teachings. Allow yourself to be the student. But in a lot of ways as well, we're also looking at what it means to be independent versus what it means to be partnership-oriented, relationship-oriented. Jupiter right now, and for the next, for 2019, basically, is going to be, in your area of partnerships. So, in order to understand partnerships, you have to be able to see it from all angles. And the Sun right now in opposition, right now, you're looking at partnership from the angle of your own independence. But it's all still playing towards the same thing anyway. Overall, it may not necessarily feel like that in your direct life because you're in that space of opposition. So you're understanding what it means to be independent while still be in relationship. Uh, but overall, the overall journey for you right now, this is all playing towards that, okay, experience, okay. The sun is going to have plenty of difficult aspects for you as well, because the sun quincunxes with Saturn and Pluto eventually. It squares with Neptune. It creates a trine aspect, funny enough, with Lilith. And so there are definitely going to be plenty of obstacles for you to face at this time. And perhaps challenges having to do with a father figure in your life, or a boss, or a manager. Perhaps there will be moments of destruction that may happen around this time too, moments that may bring about heavy destruction in a way that is beyond understanding. Quincunxes have a way of bringing about things that are beyond our own understanding, and so we tend to kind of separate them out because they don't make sense to us. But if you simply allow yourself to embrace, even though it might be something that might feel a little awkward, it might feel a little difficult, it might feel a little different, and it might make more sense to separate it out. I want you to, every time you feel that awkwardness, just kind of allow yourself to say it's okay. It doesn't make sense, but it's all going to work out anyhow. The square aspect that is happening between the sun and Neptune, definitely your visions are going to be obscured at some point. Your visions and understandings about things are going to be obscured at some point. And it also may make you very forgetful sometimes too. But once again, all said and done, focus on divine purpose right now. The divine purpose being that of going after something that you want and knowing that it is your time, that you are reborn, and bringing you new zest for life at this time. That's the real most important aspect for you that's happening right now. I also want to talk about Mars because there's a lot going on for Mars, especially towards the end. There will be a conjunct with the North Node. There will be a quincunx once again with Jupiter, and there will be an opposition between Saturn and Pluto. And Mars right now is going to be in your area of finances. So there's also being some big heavy hitters going on here in your area of finances too. And clearing space and cleansing space and making radical changes perhaps in some respects, and really getting more aggressive and assertive and getting more ambitious and more focused about your investments, what you choose to invest your physical time into, and as well as, what how you choose to grow and endure certain challenges in your life. Mars is not the most patient of energies. I will let you know that. So the fact that Mars is in your second house could definitely bring some challenges, because the second house speaks a lot about patience, and Mars is not a very patient planet. So Mars is very determined. Chances are you're going to be spending money just as quickly as you make it at this time. Okay. And chances are you're going to be making some quick impulsive decisions, as it pertains to where you place your money, where you invest your money, and also as it pertains to But this is also a good aspect for if there are certain things that you've been wanting to do, but you feel like you couldn't do, or every time there's like a blockage going on that's kept you away from doing it. Mars really starts to bring in the drive, especially as it pertains to your physical security, physical pleasures, and investments and financial housekeeping, and housekeeping in general, spring cleaning in general. This is a great time for spring cleaning. So, the main thing with Mars in the second house is that you have to really emphasize doing things that cause you to be active. Mars is a very active energy. So the advantage here with the second house, with Mars in the second house, is that if you were thinking about doing some cleaning at this time, if you were thinking about hauling some things out of your home, not just like sitting down and like getting the corners, but I'm talking about physical labor. Mars is really advantageous when it comes to physical labor. So if you were considering like hauling some things out of your home, moving some things out, boxing some things in, getting it done, like right now it's just kind of that hop to it, go mode. It's just time to step in. Mars is going to be really good for that. Okay. Not so good for things that require patience. But you'll learn from it either way. And it might be part of your spiritual destiny to do so as well, especially because the North Node is going to be conjunct with Mars. So spiritual destiny has it that right now you may just need to go ahead and embrace the entirety of what Mars offers for you in the second house. It may be that you might learn so much from the impulsive nature and the spontaneous, and that might give you tools for the future. Okay. Because there's a time and place for everything, right? There's a time and place for you to have patience and for you to take things slow and for you to do things a step at a time. There's also a time and place for you to just get on the ball and go do it. And Mars is a risk taker. Mars wants to take risks. Okay. So it may feel uncomfortable, but it also might be for your greatest good in the long run because you might learn something from it. I want to talk about Venus here for just a second too, because in the middle of the season, Venus, she's going to be making a lot of aspects. We talked about the yod that's going on here, that Venus is involved in with Jupiter. And then we also talked about, but we want to touch basis on here too. We also want to touch basis here too on the aspects happening between Saturn and Neptune. And these are more easy, loving aspects. This is a big part of this. A big part, what makes this so important is that Neptune rules the 12th house and Venus is in the 12th house. So the assistance and the inspiration that your aspects of love and physical pleasure right now are getting, I have to say that like spirit is kind of speaking to me right now, and I don't know how to say this in a sensible way, but it's almost like the things that bring you physical security and physical pleasure in your life right now in some ways are taking a back seat. And they're taking some time to heal and to be cleansed in the spirit world so that Mars can step in and can do some needed things for you right now in your second house, because Venus rules the second house. Venus rules the second house. And she's taking a back seat right now. So it's almost like she's creating space right now for Mars to step in and do some heavy work for you right now. And then you have Neptune, who is going to be connecting with Venus in a sextile manner. And so this is a really, really good aspect because the two of them will inspire one another and will really correspond with one another and communicate with one another, and will Venus will be hearing from Neptune, and Neptune right now, who for you is in your 10th house. So Neptune right now is kind of in your area of like being within the womb, being within the cocoon, uh, creating the cocoon, creating the womb, but also in your area of discipline and structure and career. And so I would say, as far as your career is concerned, especially the backbone of your career, there is a definite chance that over time you're going to be receiving some advancement here. But you have to go with the flow of how all of this manifests in your life, because the Neptune in your 10th house is a very long period. So it's about a 13 or so year period. Okay, so it's not going to all happen very quickly. And you're really going to have to, as far as the Neptune aspect, go with the flow of the whole thing. But there's going to be some information, there's going to be some messages. Neptune is also the higher octave of Venus. Venus being the more earthier octave, Neptune being the higher octave, the more spiritual octave of Venus. And so these two working together is going to be absolutely beautiful, and is going to do wonders for you. Um, um, I will say keep an open mind here. Allow your sense of self to also, be how do I say this in the right way? Just go with the flow. Do what you feel. And understand that right now, once again, stick to your divine purpose right now. And your divine purpose right now is to really connect, is to really do something to conquer any challenges and obstacles. It's all going to happen within the season over time. So that's the medicine for you, Gemini. And I hope to see you. I look forward to seeing you next season.